So, you may know about this fiasco that's going on, or you probably won't. I'm talking about the Lego. And considering it's about Lego, and if you don't know about it, you may think it's not that serious. It's just some silly nonsense. But I assure you, you would be surprised how out of hand this has gotten. So let's get started. Now, this all starts with our guy Brian. Now, he has a dad, and his dad was a collector, and he had possibly the most valuable Lego Star Wars collection out there, worth around about 200 grand. Just a cool 200 grand. And now, our guy, he got financial problems. His dad, he's sick. And so, our guy thinks, hey, why not sell this stuff? As he makes up a contract and goes to Bricks and Minifigs and gets a contract out of them that says, I own this stuff, but you can sell it and you get a commission, but most of the money comes back to me. And as he starts the selling process, the person who he made the contract with, the owner of the franchise, they get kicked out. And the person who replaces them says, yeah, I'm gonna keep your deal going. We got this on camera, by the way. So, our guy Brian asks them, so when you gonna pay me? Because they were advertising this collection and actively selling it. And Bricks and Minifigs said, who are you? I don't know who you are. Get lost, scram! And threatened them that if he speaks up, they're gonna sue his ass to oblivion. They just said they're gonna screw him big time. And so, with no options, Brian turns to YouTube and talks to Ben, the main guy who's documenting this entire thing. And Ben, he decides to help him. And he goes to their shop trying to ask about this collection, and as soon as he spews the word Brian's collection, the sirens in their heads, the management, they go wee wee wee, all of them go blue screen. And they start yelling at him and saying, he's harassing, get his ass out of here. And so he gets trespassed. And when he goes to corporate, they give him the runaround. They say, go to the franchise. And when he goes to franchise, the franchise says, go to corporate. And this shit just keeps going on. And every time he talks about this or even comes close to these people, he gets trespassed. So, boo, he's screwed. And so he tries to talk to them, just have fun, sends them a package filled with ducks, as you do. But then he realizes, god dang it, talking to them ain't working. Now there's only one thing to do, and that's to go to small claims court. And he actually wins. Who would have guessed? Because Bricks and Minifigs didn't show their asses, and they just said peace. So automatically he won. And so as soon as he wins, he tries to go and get their asses to pay up. Bricks and Minifigs says, you want us to pay, huh? Nah, screw you! And just pop out of existence. They said, gone. The entire building vacates overnight. Like, nobody's there. And for a brief moment, our guy Ben thinks, oh, God, you listened to me. We did it. And then realizes, wait, we did nothing. We got screwed. God damn you. Because, well, if they aren't, in the building, you can't really make them pay up. What are you gonna do? And that's where the first video ends. And soon after the first video, gets posted, people start dunking on this business. Allegedly. All of this is alleged. Remember, gotta save ass. Very important. We get the story of the original franchise owners, the people who did the deal, the consignment deal with a guy. They say, yeah, we were thinking of getting out of the country, leaving the country, and as soon as they went to upper management to tell them, they're like, get out, and pop in and start threatening them by calling the police on their asses. Like, luckily they got, the CCTV footage, and they're saying, if you don't leave, we're gonna call you the police. And if you talk about this, we're gonna sue your ass into oblivion. Now, these are your options. If you listen, hey, you could go free. We don't need no smack from anyone. You can leave, it ain't your problem. I shit you not, this entire conversation is recorded. The level of shittiness, it's beyond me. This corporation is filled with both cowards and pieces of shit. Melded into one thing. Allegedly. Obviously, I have to put that before everything else. And now remember, this is a very big corporation. So they have to listen. If they fight them, they're screwed. And so, after getting the new manager to say, yeah, we're gonna take up the deal, the original managers just leave because they don't want no smoke. And at this point, Bricks and Minifix give their quote-unquote side of the story. And their main claim is, we don't do consignment. That's not us. You got the wrong guys. Basically, consignment means that, well, the deal that they did, they say that this deal, we don't do that. The owners went rogue. That's not us. That's not what we do. And that's why we gotta kick them original owners. And so, if you think about it for a second, you realize a big fat problem in their entire story. If they don't do these sorts of consignment deals, that's not them, they don't do this, allegedly, then why don't they give back the property they have? Now, I don't want to make any sort of assumptions, but this looks very fishy to me. I don't know about you, but hey, who knows? Maybe it's a misunderstanding. Oh, wait a minute. They're just repeating this one point that they don't do consignments. And now, the original video got split up in two parts. Things get even worse somehow. In the first part, they made a GoFundMe so they could actually go to Big Boy Court. And so now the second part, they try to go to Big Boy Court, and Big Boy Court says, yeah, you gotta prove that you tried. And so to prove that, they go to the owner of the franchise, and the owner of the franchise gets them trespassed. And so, after getting trespassed, they show the form that shows that they've been trespassed to the court, and they say, yep, you tried. Get into court. And now they can fight against owner of the franchise. Now they have to fight against the CEO. And as soon as they try to get close to the CEO, there's an entire SWAT team there. Like, dropping all this shit. The level of corruption is kind of disgusting. Like, seriously. How? How did this happen? Huh? Like, if you look at the footage, they got an entire fucking SWAT team there. Like, how? How the fuck? And these SWAT members, they're literally puppeted, fondled by the CEO 24/7. Like, seriously, Ben plants a sign mocking the CEO, and the SWAT team just plops their car in front of them and repeatedly starts checking on them. Eventually, he goes and proves to the court that, yeah, he tried to talk to the CEO. And after, proving that, he has to serve the papers. He can't enter, not even go close to his property because he's been trespassed, and if he does, he goes to jail. And remember, All of these trespassing situations, yeah, the police didn't even ask Ben and the team why they're doing what's wrong here. Like, usually, as far as I get it, I mean, I don't live in America. The fuck do I know? But from what I get, they tend to ask first before screwing somebody over. But yeah, they just like, screw you, just go to hell, fuck you. It's so, God, it actually works me up. Anyways, they try to serve them. They park their car there and try to call out the CEO so, they could serve him. But no, the CEO doesn't come out. Instead, there are like 5 separate police officers that come to check on him. First one comes, he's like, yeah, that checks out, leaves. Then another one comes, and it says, yeah, that checks out. Because obviously they aren't doing anything wrong. Third one comes out, he's like, yeah, let me look at those papers. I think there's something wrong. And after a bit, they're like, yeah, that checks out. The fourth one comes out, he's like, yeah, give me the paper, what you want to do with them. And Ben's like, yeah, I want these papers to go to the CEO. And so the police officer's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give them. And he goes to the CEO, and the CEO's like, nah, I ain't want them. And then they give the papers back to Ben. Like, the fuck? How does this work? And then another guy checks in to confirm the authenticity of the papers. That happens. And the reason, all of these police are fucking taking his entire balls, deep throating them, is that these guys, they're all Mormons. Nothing against Mormons. That's not the important thing. The important thing is these police officers are devout Mormons. And you know who else is a devout Mormon? Yes, our CEO here. He's a devout, religious person. And so, you gotta protect your own guys, don't ya? And that's the bullshit they're pulling. Because, well, the police officers have a lot of Mormons in there, which are pretty devout. Nothing against Mormons. I mean, obviously, if you yourself are a Mormon, I'm pretty sure you're ashamed to know that these people, these fucking cowards, believe something that even resembles your faith. Like, I mean, if you don't even have anything on stake here, these are your tax dollars that have been wasted to suckle this guy's cock. That makes me personally very pissed to hear about it. And I ain't even American, so I could only imagine how you feel. But yeah, after police, get him out of there, he gets arrested for some reason and gets out at bail. And after that, he gets stopped and then gets swatted on charges of carrying heroin. They ask Ben, like, where's the heroin? Like, after 2 hours of checking his shit, they're like, we didn't find it in the car. But where's the heroin? Where are you hiding it? They just pressure him. And he's like, hey, I got nothing to hide, bub. If you want to check me, hey, I'm open to that. I will do any test you want. Like, I ain't done drugs in my life, so you do what you want, officer. The officer blue screens and just keeps repeating, admit it, okay, admit it, please. Admit it, and repeatedly. Like, these are fucking cowards, biggest losers I've ever seen. And the fact that they redact what they're doing proves that these are massive fucking cowards. God, it makes me so pissed. Allegedly, of course, you gotta protect your own ass. Remember that. All of this is alleged. This may or may not have happened. My eyes may have been lying to me, okay? Hey, your eyes may be lying to you. Remember, this is all alleged. God damn it, makes me so mad. And so, after being swatted, and another thing happens where he hangs a poster trying to fundraise, and a police officer pops in and says, hey, what you doing? And after learning what they're doing, is like, that makes sense. And another officer just blows a gasket and just pulls out his knife, cuts the poster they made, puts it in the car, and asks one of the members of Ben's team for his phone. And the guy, he tries to close his phone. And this man is, like, seriously, for a second, it looks like he's gonna pull out some sort of knife or some sort of gun at him. Like, he freaking snaps. He's like, hey, don't do that. You ain't allowed to turn off your phone. That's destroying evidence. You bastard. What you doing here? That's against the law. We're gonna put you in jail, bastard. After nearly blowing a gasket and nearly blowing a head, as you do, these cowards proceed to redact a decent chunk of the footage because, I mean, it's pretty hard to defend what they were doing. I don't know about law or anything like that. What the hell do I know? But that looks a bit fishy to me. I mean, I ain't no professional, but who knows? And at the end of the video, his house gets swatted, and police officer literally dislocates his shoulder. And after being put in custody, the detective comes and asks him, and Ben, he makes a very big mistake. He thinks that him being honest will be his saving grace because he's done nothing wrong, but the police are trying to, shaft him. And so, well, they proceed to do exactly that. They shaft him. And he gets in jail for a month, but luckily a judge sees this and thinks this is completely bullshit and gives him the opportunity for bail, and so he gets out. But then another judge decides, yeah, he's gonna go in jail with no opportunity for bail for a month. He's screwed. And so our guy Ben, he leaves to Mexico because, I mean, you can't really judge him. I mean, he didn't even know what the charges was. Like, the level of corruption, it's insane. And by the way, this is the Utah Police Department. This video, gets posted, and a couple days after that, the Utah Police Department comes out and starts defending their own actions. And they put the most soft-spoken man there is in that entire department out there to basically whisper into the press's ears. And they start to basically lie. Like, they lie that didn't get to a stop, and we got an anonymous tip that he had heroin and this and that, and the parcel that was sent to our guy, yeah, we thought it was filled with bombs or shit like that. Like, again, these are all cowards. Like, seriously, if I were a Mormon, I would be ashamed to know that I believed anything resembling these cowards' beliefs, these dweebs' beliefs. Like, god damn, makes me mad. But and Bricks and Minifigs, you would be surprised. It gets worse. These cowards go to Patreon, the company, and say to them, get Ben's Patreon out of there. We don't want that. Get it out. And so the co-founder of Patreon makes a video on this and explains that he got this legal notice and all of this shit, and then proceeds to put down his meat. Like, he says, yeah, screw you. If you wanna do any sort of legal action, hey, you can sue us. Hey, the floor is open. Like, the reason Bricks and Minifigs can't sue Patreon is so big that it would literally just eat Bricks and Minifigs alive. Like, it can't pull some, we're gonna sue you to oblivion shit. And obviously I get that this is basically free marketing. And nonetheless, hey, this is pretty respectable, because I would highly doubt that any company would do this on their own, actually risk their own asses. So, mad respect. So, this situation got an update as the video was in production, and now we have new information. Let's just quickly go through it. First of all, the franchisees that we are talking about that were basically screwing over Ben throughout this entire saga, the entire franchise shut down. They're gone. And now Bricks and Minifigs is trying to investigate the previous owners of this franchise, and from their investigation, and not just their investigation, this has been confirmed from other sources, the previous owners of the franchise, the previous franchisees, were allegedly not paying Brian what he was owed, and they were hoarding some of his stuff. And now Bricks and Minifigs is trying to act like they are the good guys and they're trying to help Brian to get his stuff back. And obviously, that's just bullshit. They're doing this because they're being pressurized from other partners. Like, a couple of their partners are scared seeing this situation blow up, and the normal people that used to do business with them are again terrified, because obviously if your situation doesn't get this popular, you're shafted. That's why they're terrified to do any dealings with this. And this entire situation has quickly gotten very out of hand, like very complicated. Now the small claims court victory claim that's been put into question. The original reason why the first franchisees were kicked was, well, those franchisees made the consignment deal, and that was supposedly against Bricks and Minifigs' terms of agreement and ownership papers, which, by the way, didn't state anywhere that consignment deals are illegal. That's never stated nowhere. And this entire thing, was handled truly awfully. Like, this should have been dealt with much earlier and should have just paid up, gotten some good PR, but they didn't. What can you do? Anyways, the franchisee said something along the lines of, yeah, they are calling us and harassing us, so I ain't giving them, by them they mean Brian and Ben, their Legos back. They are cranking us like too much, so we're just excommunicating those bastards. And that's basically where we are at right now. And this is an ongoing case, so I don't think I'm going to cover it much further from here, because it's getting a bit complicated, and I think this is gonna be solved through a proper court trial. So yeah, that's about it for me. Bye.